Welcome back to A Soulful Tea. And on this episode, I'm going to share some things that I have learned as a woman when I was out there on a dating scene. I'm grateful that I'm no longer out there on the dating scene because, whew, no thank you. Let's just say that. No thank you. But one thing that I learned while on the dating scene is that you will meet a bunch of different men, right? And I was talking to my partner about this a couple of weeks ago, how when you're in a dating scene, you would literally just be meeting people. As a woman, you just meet people. You're a beautiful woman, you're accomplished, you got a lot going on for yourself. It's just so easy to meet people in today's society, especially if you're doing like the whole online dating. I found myself meeting people, but not meeting people of substance. I was going out on dates like back to back to back. And after a while, it just got boring. I got exhausted. I'm like, I just want to find one person that just gets me, that we can build each other up, or we can build as individuals and then come together and build. Like, I want somebody who got morals and ethics and a value system, and who's not overly materialistic, and someone who's spiritual and not highly religious. And I had a checklist. I definitely had my checklist of the things that I was willing to accept and that I was not willing to accept. Sometimes you may find your partner in an not ideal situation, because I never ever thought that I would be in a relationship with somebody who is a single parent. Never in a million years. Because as a kid, I used to say, I want to have my own family. I want to create my own nuclear family. I want all my kids to have the same siblings, the same daddy. Like, this is what I used to tell myself as a little girl. But then I met my partner, and when you find a good man, he'll bring out the worst in you, help you heal through the worst in you to become a better person. But he has taught me to give myself grace. Like, I am human, give myself grace. Everybody makes mistakes, nobody's perfect. And right? When a person brings you peace, because I've always just been that type of person I just want peace, right? I want peace, I want respect, I want loyalty, I want honesty. I want to be able to trust you. Every person that you date should teach you something about yourself. My last relationship, as I stated before, has taught me that I do not want to be with somebody that's highly religious, because that causes conflict, right? You want to go to church on Sundays, and I want to just relax and be at home and cook a dinner. And I don't want to be in nobody's institution, because I'm in somebody's institution from Monday to Friday. Another thing that I prayed for to my ancestors is I wanted a provider. I'm not going to even discuss the whole 50-50 conversation, because whatever works for you works for you. So that for me, I didn't want to be with somebody that was going to make me do 50-50. And it's not me being selfish, but you can't really be a feminine woman. And this is my opinion, and this is based on how I feel and what I've gone through. You can't really be a feminine woman if you are either paying majority of the bills, or if you are going half and half. That's my opinion. That's how I feel. I noticed that in my relationship that I'm in now, I could literally get rid of the masculine cape, because he has created an environment in which I can feel feminine, right? I could do the things that I like make waist beads. I could do the things that I like do yoga. I don't have to work a 9-to-5. I could work part-time and go to school, right? He has created that environment for me. So when you're on these dating scenes and a man asks you, like, what do you bring to the table? Like, that's your cue to, like, nah, we may not even be on the same page, because me and my partner, we never talked about like what we bring to the table, right? He just knew like his role is to provide. And I provide as well. It may not be money wise, but I provide in other ways. Like today, he said to me, I just want to appreciate you because the little things you do for me that take stress and weight off my shoulders. Like I know when I come home, like certain things are going to be in place. We have certain things within the household because of you. And that made me feel so good and made me feel so appreciated because sometimes we could be so caught up in the hustle and bustle, y'all. We don't really take the time to acknowledge the good in our partners, the good in our spouse, the good in our husbands, the good in our wives, because we're so focused on hustle and bustle, hustle and bustle. When I was on the dating scene, there were so many men who just wanted to sleep around, right? Just wanted to come over to my place and sleep with me. And then as you get older, you realize like that's played out. Like we can't build on just sex, right? Sex ain't paying the bills, right? Sex ain't giving me no spiritual connection with you. Sex is just like you just trying to get off. And I had to get to that mindset that's like, no, I'm not settling for just the bare minimum. I know my worth. I know that I'm a good woman. I know that I have a value system. I know that I have principles. I know that with the masculine and feminine energy, there's a balance. I'm very self-aware. I do the self-reflection. I'm doing the internal healing, right? I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I am going to say that when you have certain morals about you, when you have a value system that you stick to, when you know who you are internally, it's so easy for you to say, you a cute face, but you ain't got nothing to offer me, right? I don't see us building anything here. And I'm not just looking for sex. It becomes normal when you can just say, no, this ain't it, right? No hard feelings, but this ain't gonna go nowhere. You will save so much time when you learn to just say, it was nice meeting you. I don't think we're on the same page, and I wish you well. You will save you so much time when you can just be honest with yourself. And sometimes you're not in the season to date, right? Sometimes you just need to sit back and focus on yourself and do the internal healing, right? Because a lot of the times we find ourselves moving from one relationship to another relationship, bringing that baggage into the next relationship. And the cycle continues. A lot of the time we find ourselves dating the same person with a different face. Why do I keep meeting this man that don't want to provide? Why do I keep meeting this man that got low self-esteem? Why do I keep meeting this man that don't know how to regulate his emotions? Why do I keep meeting this man that don't show his emotions, not in tune with his emotions, just so standoffish? And we don't realize that we attract the energy in which we are. If you want to be with somebody that provides, if you want to be with somebody that's a leader, if you want to be with somebody who knows how to articulate themselves and express their feelings, sometimes you got to dig deep within yourself and say, hey, maybe that's an area that I need to work on. And maybe the reason why I keep attracting this type of man is because I have some childhood traumas that I haven't healed from. I have some daddy issues that I haven't healed from. I have some mother wounds that I need to heal from. And do the internal work, y'all. Don't rush. Don't rush. Just because you are a certain age does not mean that you have to be married. Just because you are a certain age does not mean that you just got to just have a baby just because you want a baby. And a lot of the times women say, I'm getting up there in age. When I ask a lot of women, like, what made you make this decision? A lot of the times they go back on what happened in their childhood, their relationship or lack of relationship with their parents. And it could be sexual abuse that takes place, physical abuse, financial abuse, that may take place that may lead a woman to make bad choices. What I'm saying to you guys today, a lot of us need to do internal work before we go out there and start dating. I know that I had to do a lot of internal work. I'm not saying that you got to be perfect in order to be married or in order to be in a relationship, but I am saying that there needs to be a season of isolation. And in isolation, you have to learn to sit with yourself. Get off of social media, right? Don't feel the need that you got to be in a club. Don't feel the need that you got to be smoking. Don't feel in the need to have to be drinking and having sex with random people because you want to have an orgasm. Literally get yourself in a season to be able to sit with yourself, to reflect, to cry, to journal, to go to therapy, to do the internal work so that when you actually meet somebody, you're not looking at another face of trauma. You're actually meeting people who can either help you heal through your traumas or just be a good spouse to you. Be everything that you desire. Be everything that you need.
I was very concerned that the women seemed so desperate for men. I don't have that experience. But I have talked to many women.
You don't know that experience, or you don't have it?
I don't have it. I mean,
You're not desperate for men?
No. I mean, I'm hardly desperate for anything, really. I feel, that whatever is mine is looking for me.